evening. My name is Rachel Lake, and I have the opportunity of teaching these almost 90-person concert band sitting behind you. And that was Foundry. Can you give them another round of applause for that, please? So I have also the opportunity of stalling greatly in between each songs because there are 27 percussionists back there who have to switch instruments. So I just want to make sure that you guys understand I'll be talking a little bit more than I normally do, making sure that they can transition everything as quickly as possible. Now, in case you didn't notice, we have this lovely QR code over here with a little bit of information about said concert, said pieces that we are playing. In case you did not see the cover of this concert, we are doing the Night of the Living Composers. It's a joke. I don't know if you got it. Hopefully you did. But every single composer that we are performing, except for one tonight, is still alive. And they're still writing. And they're still amazing humans. And I told the students, you can go online and you can stalk them on the internet. It works great. So I want to make sure that they understand that composers are still alive, they're still writing, and all of those great things. So the percussionists are still running around back there, and that's okay. Looks like they're almost ready. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce to you one of the most wonderful humans I have had the opportunity of working with. I'm going to invite them to the stage. Everybody give Mixed Peps a round of applause. The stage is massive. Right here it is. But Mixed Peps has had the opportunity of working with your students since August. And congratulations to them. They have now officially finished their student teaching, and now they're officially a teacher. So they will be conducting two pieces this evening. This next one is entitled The Great Locomotive Chase. You'll hear a train going by, hopefully. Progressions too, right? You'll hear a train going by, and of course this is a piece of history where the two trains are trying to meet in the middle without hitting each other from the East Coast and the West Coast. So this is the one piece, which is why his name's not up there, who was written by Robert W. Smith, and he did pass away about 3 years ago from a heart attack. He should still be alive, but he was very, very young when he passed away. So without further ado, this is Mixed Peps and the Great Locomotive Chase. momentum of all of the wind players, percussionists in your 0, 1st, and 2nd period class, they signed this poster for you. That was your first ever conducted concert. Mass band doesn't count because it was mass. So everybody give Nick's Peps a round of applause. So some days I always wonder, why do people want to do my job? I don't know some days. However, doing this is not a job to me. This is like literally a hobby, a passion project. The first time that the percussion and the wind players practiced this next piece, which is Baskerville, together, and it was, by the way, our classroom gets like, I don't know, 90 degrees with this many children blowing hot air in a very small space, and I was covered from goose pimples from head to toes, but I was sweating. Because of the amount of emotion these kids are able to put into these pieces, it's unbelievable. Those of you who are new to us, we have a lot of kiddos who are new to our percussion class, to our ensemble in general. I want to make sure you guys are aware of something. When I choose the pieces that I choose, I want to tell a story. There's more to it than just playing music, which is, again, why I have the QR code. As a person who also lives in this generation, I have a hard time just sitting there doing nothing, right? It's okay. I tell the students, I'm like, guys, it's okay if you see your parents on their phones. When my kid had a concert, like in middle school, I was playing a game online, and I'm a music teacher, so it's okay. I'm just making sure you hear me say that. But I want you to hear the different stories that were being told. The very first one, sorry, I'm checking to make sure they're still moving around back there. The very first one was a foundry, as you saw by the picture. I'm hoping you can hear the metalworks happening. The next one, of course, was the great locomotive chase. Did you guys hear the train going by? And of course, you heard absolutely the train whistle, which you couldn't see him playing if that was Milo on the train whistle. It was fantastic. Because Milo's crowd was out there, which is fabulous. This next one is entitled Baskerville. It is supposed to be about the Sherlock Holmes story. Now, the kiddos over here have not really seen or know what the Baskerville's about. We haven't taken the time to really dive into it. Instead, I just said, you'll hear this beautiful woman and she's being chased by a murderer. And they're like, what? I'm like, do you hear the heartbeat? And they're like, oh my gosh, she's gonna die. And I'm like, yes, she gets murdered. So in case you hear that in it, that's what I told them this was about. So if you know what the Hound of the Baskervilles is actually about, that's not exactly either way. But we've performed other pieces by Erica. In the past, one of my favorites was Haunted Carousel. Sorry, I'm hearing no movement. Are we good back there, guys? Wow, that's quick. Okay, good. But we performed another piece by her that was called The Haunted Carousel, which is the reason that we now own a theremin. If you don't know what a theremin is, you should look it up. It's one of my favorite instruments of all time. But the reason we have that is because the Haunted Carousel had these ghostly tones, and it was cool. So I looked up the rest of her pieces, and QR codes. Make sure you're ready for that for our last concert in June, because we are doing another Choose Your Own Adventure concert, which means that you get to vote what happens to our adventures during the piece. So if you're not used to doing QR codes, this is your time to practice, just letting you know. We have a couple more that you can QR code it. All it is to their bio, just letting you know. It's not anything fancy. But percussionists are ready. You ready? Okay, let's kill her. Are you ready? Perfect. By the way, in case your flute players or your concert managers asked, hey, Miss Lake showed us this amazing scene from this movie called Psycho. I did show them the shower scene because I'm like, flutes, you're supposed to sound like Psycho. And they're like, what is a Psycho flute? I'm like, okay, well, let's show you what happened. And by the way, it's just chocolate sauce. He never actually touches her. It's totally fine. I'm not telling you who actually murders her. She's okay, but she's died. But and those of you who haven't seen Psycho, the original, you should watch it. It's fabulous. Right, guys? And we watched it like 4 times, too. They have to understand, like, killing someone in the shower. Okay, we ready? Here we go, Baskerville. that. It was absolutely fantastic. So the real reason behind this lovely slideshow over here is actually our next piece. Lick and slide, there it goes, is Pilatus. And while the drummers are moving around doing everything they're supposed to do back there, I want to talk a little bit about Pilatus. So Pilatus is a mountain that truly is in Switzerland, and they're creating their own or using AI to generate it. Yes, I'm well aware of that. That was fine if we did that. Okay. I asked them to create a dragon, and they did, but AI did a lot of the work. Everyone's like, no, we didn't. I'm like, Okay. So this is Pilatus. Making sure drummers are 100% ready. Fabulous, thank you, Isaac. This is Pilatus, the Dragon Mountain. And by the way, there's a sad dragon, there's a really happy dragon. When I sing to them, a lot of times the happy dragon comes out. So, this is the last piece for this group. You ready? Okay, now comes the fun part where we get to transition from a 90-person concert band to a 25-person jazz band. Give us about, probably, I'm hoping, no longer than 3 minutes. So here we go, ready, set, and we practice this. Go!